Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. I say afternoon because it is afternoon in my world. I think it's about, what do I want to say, maybe 12:45, 12:50 in the USA Eastern Standard Time. So if you're across the Great Pond, I'm sure we could add 7 or 8 hours to that. So it might be evening. In California, it might be good morning. So welcome. Whatever time frame you are in, whatever time zone, wherever you live, welcome. I have some goodies I want to show you today, but the first thing I want to share with you is I made myself a cup of coffee because this morning I went to a book sale at our local library. So I think maybe I'll do that first. I have a craft haul, which I'm really excited to show you. And I have the book sale. So seeing that, it's a rainy Saturday afternoon. It's gloomy skies. I came home and made myself a cup of coffee. Although my son walked in today from Taekwondo, he teaches on Saturday mornings for a few hours, and he came walking in with a cup of my favorite Starbucks. And he didn't have two in hand. And I'm like, oh. He goes, Mom, I'm sorry. I thought you'd still be gone. I didn't want it to get cold on you. Blah, 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 blah. Yada, yada, yada. So I made myself a cup of coffee. I forgave my son. I did have him do penance, though. And I wanted to share with you, when we go to Key West, I always go to the Key West Lime Shop, and the name of it is Kermit's, and they're throughout the town. This one is at 200 Elizabeth Street, so this is right at the corner of Green and Elizabeth, and this is the original. I always go to the original. I don't like to go to the little satellite ones that they have here and there. They're almost like little kiosk satellite. I don't know. I have to be original. I've got to go to the original. But I wanted to share these with you. If you're ever in Florida, not necessarily down in Key West, because I'm sure they might sell these in the grocery store, Publix, or what's the other one down there? I can't remember the other one. I usually go to the Publix. But these are key lime cookies. And again, you have to get them made by Kermit's Key West Lime Shop. And you may even I bet you can order these online. Of course you can. Why would I think otherwise? www.keylimeshop.com. These are the bomb diggity. And I usually come home with a few bags of these. And they're I always have to I keep these in my craft room because I'm not a good sharer. I will allow my son to come in and take a few, but these are cute little powdered cookies. And they taste just like a key lime pie. And I usually have one or two after my lunch, or if I bring a cup of coffee up. I'm really trying to stay away from the cookies. Cookies are my downfall. I could eat this whole bag like today. But I wanted to share those with you because they're tiny, they're cute, they're delicious. They're very hard to resist. You can't stop eating them. And I always end up kicking myself in the butt if I have too many. But they're really, really good. So I wanted to share that with you. If you're in Florida, or go online, order them. You will not be disappointed if you like key lime. So this is gonna be quick. I'm gonna show you, because I am a big reader. I'm gonna save the best for last, what I got to craft with. But because I'm a big reader and I'm a sucker for a book, and I'm a sucker for a 50-cent book. When I go to my local library, and I've done these videos before, they have a book sale. I think it's every other month. and it's only from 10 till noon. And they sell all of their paperbacks for 50 cents, and every single hardcover book, doesn't matter how big it is. It could be a gigundo table book, coffee table book. They're all $1. So today, my big purchase was $5. $5. So to add to my list, I got a book, The Piano Tuner, which looks very, very good. It's set in 1886. It has to do with Britain during the war. A lot of espionage. It's set in the jungles of Burma. And I needed this book to take me away on a good adventure. The next one I got is Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet. This one looks very interesting to me. This is set in 1986, but it goes back to the 1940s, again during World War II. I love books that are set around World War II. It's about a man and a woman that were friends in the 1940s. It's about it's called Seattle's Japantown, which I had no idea there was a Japantown in Seattle. But it's about a town. The Japanese, unfortunately, had to go to internment camps. The couple here meet up in the 80s. They knew each other back in the 40s. There's, again, espionage. There's romance. There's intrigue. So I'm really looking forward to this one here. I don't know if this... I did... Okay, so this gal... Oh, no. She just gave it Water for Elephants. If you haven't read that book either, read Water for Elephants. I read that. It's an excellent, excellent book. She just gave a little thumbs up for this. I've never read anything by Jamie Ford, but I think this will be a good one. So I got that, and then I got another fun one. Looks like a good summer read, April and Oliver, a novel. And this is a typical, friends from childhood. He's in law school. They both leave, they separate, they come back years later, they try to get together, and there's just way too many dark secrets. So got those for some fun reading. And I had to share those with you because I'm an avid reader. I love to read. So I wanted to show you what I got for crafting. The first thing I looked for, I had on my checklist, was a dictionary. Because when I was doing one of Marguerite Miller's prompts for the weekly collage challenge, she asked for a dictionary page, and I have dictionaries, but I won't rip them up. So I got this little book here for 50 cents. You can see it's torn and tattered. Doesn't matter. And the other thing I thought would be fun with this is when I make my collages and I'm looking for wording. I know everybody uses the Tim Holtz phrases and other phrases, but I thought it would be fun to start taking some dictionary quotes. Not quotes. Dictionary doesn't quote itself. Definitions. So I just thought, that would be something fun and different. So I picked this up. That was 50 cents. So that was a steal. And then this one here, I thought this was $1. And it normally sold for, is there a price here? Dear Jan, may there be a postmark, Lake George, by my favorite author, Love Nancy, December 1996. Well, postmarks from Paris. You're not going to find Lake George in it. No, she took the sticker off. But this was $1, and I thought that this was just the cat's meow. And it has all these little postage stamps that have to do with Paris. And let me see I may have to come down a little bit. Let me adjust my camera so we can get right down here and you have a better view. And I can see what you're seeing as well. But these are all sweet little stamps. And I'm going to show you in my craft haul what I got to possibly I could use around these. But once again, see, you're in the dilemma where they're back to back. So maybe if I hold this up to the light, my son also has a light board. I'm thinking maybe I could cut around it and then I could put this in a specimen slide, or I could make my own little frame and I could do a flip on a page so you could see both sides of the stamp, because they're both quite pretty. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. There should be writing on one page, stamp on the others. I'm going to have to start contacting these authors and tell them to publish their books a little bit differently. And some of these would go really nice with some of the downloads I have from Mrs. Cog's Crafts. So these are all little stories as well. I'll have to read the book to actually see what it's about, because it does look like it has a little story. But these are wonderful little stamps. And they always have in the library, they don't have too many, but they do have a little art section. Look at this little one here. Isn't that? I really like that. That one is really cute. Oh, my coffee. So this is very pretty. Very, very nice. Yeah, this is all a story. I didn't know what my father did at work until he told me he was a scientist. I thought he sold shoes. Then he took me to his lab and we filled up balloons with helium. One morning, on my way to the metro, a strange man approached me. "What does your father do?" he said in English. I stared straight ahead and kept walking. He repeated his question. "I'm not allowed to speak to strangers," I said, and ran into the station. When I told my parents about the man, they said they did not know him. My father said I had done the right thing. His work seemed more mysterious than ever. Yeah, I'm going to have to read this little book, because obviously it's got a cute little, nice little story to it. Maybe I could do a little journal. When you have small images like this as well, you can go ahead, scan them, enlarge them. We see how well they scan. But if you're doing maybe like a grunge journal, if it didn't, if the images didn't come out sharp, that would be okay. It could be more on that grunge side. So this is the little book here of stamps, and I just thought they were adorable, and you can't go wrong for $1, right? All right, so let's adjust my, I feel definitely this is a show and tell today. So this next one, again, I was able to buy this for $1. And this is called the Fragrant Garden. It's a scented treasury of verse and prose. This is a nice hard cover too. More like it's a very hard, I don't know about taking that apart, but maybe this would make a nice cover for a junk journal. If I could cut this section out here and leave this intact. That's a thought, but that's work, isn't it? And this also would make a nice journal if once I started tearing pages out of here, and it got down, I would leave this intact, and then I would just start pulling papers out. adjust the, whoops. I feel like you're on a roller coaster ride here, the way I'm wheeling around my, all right, so I'm going to set this like this so there's no glare for you. Wow. Foil? With love and friendship. I can't read that. 1992. The reason I bought this book here is that it has beautiful, beautiful images. And again, when I looked at this, I immediately thought of Mrs. Coggs Crafts and a lot of the, I don't know if I call her downloads paper packs, but she had, you know, she'll do Monet. She has, I've purchased ones that have to do with library and reading. And these here, I immediately thought of all of her downloads I've purchased to use. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful images. And this type of book, see, now this editor and author got it right. So you have print on one side and then you have an image on the other. They're not back to back. So this will not, look at this. Look at that hat. This will not, this is going to be a no-brainer as to, and again, whatever I use, if I were to cut this out here and use in my blue and white journal, I'm going to see what I have left over for papers, and this here would make a lovely journal in itself. So we have some prose here. This is a lovely, lovely piece. And I am going to, you know, take my time and take you through this book because it is nice, I mean, to make notes. And if you ever find something like this, you'll know, or you see it online, you'll know exactly what is in the book. And that will help you decide. Look at these reds. That will help you decide in your purchase. This is a really pretty picture. If they had thrown, I love red with purple. I try to do red and purple in my garden. I'm not a big fan of purple or lavenders. I don't know. But I love the combo of red and purple together. So this is a very, very pretty book. You can do, there's just so many. I mean, my mind right now is just like churning and thinking of everything that I can do with these. Look at that there. And it tells the artists. This is Henry A. Bright, 1891. Another Henry A. Bright. This is Henry Ellicombe. This is beautiful. Very, very pretty. Look at that. When I used to go into the city, that's the one place that I always insisted on going, was the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And I don't know if you've never been, you should really put it on your bucket list and go, because the paintings in there, they're just, I mean, they're from the great masters. And some huge, huge painting, they're like murals, and they just encompass a great wall. And I could sit there, you know, I used to sit and just study the painting and all the little things that you see. And the one thing that really always blew my mind, because I would have loved to have been a painter, um, is that for such a large expanse of canvas that these masters would paint on, to get the detail, the definition, to get everything, what do I want to say? Not well, the word escapes me. I'll think of it. But just to get everything sized properly, the people and the background, you're working in such a small little area. You have to keep stepping back, and then it just blows my mind. It just really amazed me, and I could just sit there forever and ever and ever. Sometimes I'd look at a painting for 30 minutes, and it was just very hard to pull away. But if you ever have thought about going to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, make sure you do, because it's just amazing. This is a lovely book. This would be so pretty in a fussy cut. Very, very pretty. Look at these delphiniums. I love delphiniums. You have asters here. These are asters. You have your delphiniums. These are little, I can't think of the name of these little blue. These are really cute. This is all about the water garden. Looks so peaceful and serene. This is lovely. That is a lovely, lovely painting. Bees and honey flowers. Almost the Cabbages. 1884. This was done. Another 1884. If you've never seen the movie or read the book, The Girl with the Pearl Earring, or A Girl with a Pearl Earring, I don't remember if it's the or a. I read that years ago. I still have it. It's a good reread. I believe that is about the relationship she had with Vermeer. I think it was Vermeer. And it fascinated me when he was painting her, what they used for pigments and dyes to make the colors of the paints. Just amazing. So that's another really good book to read. The Girl with the Pearl Earring. That was a wonderful love story. The Purest of Human Pleasures. This is that's a beautiful painting. Alfred Tennyson, 1809 to 1892. There you go. There's some lawn tennis. And that's it. So that is a lovely, lovely, lovely book. And if you can find that to add to your collection, I highly recommend it. I will put all of these in the description. So if you didn't have time to write it down, I will have it in there. Again, there's no author on this. Well, yeah. Edited by Sheila Pickles. So I'll put that in there as well, because you may run across a copy without the cover. But this is a beautiful book. So, and all for $1. $1. And then this is the last book I got today. They didn't have a lot, but that's okay. You know, you don't have to walk out with bags and bags and bags. So this here is A Date with London. And I'm going to try some new challenges that are beyond what I normally do. I've been following Jane Chip, and she has a Artful Memories challenge going on, which I can't do right now. It's a daily challenge, and I just can't do it. So I may do it, like do one of her challenges maybe once a month. And that would take me through the 35 weeks of the year. And it's a very intimidating challenge to me. But with that going on, I saw this book, and because she works with a lot of black and white photos, vintage photos, and I thought this would be perfect. So I got this book here just for fussy cutting. So if I ever need a picture of Big Ben or Parliament, look at this picture here. Oh, I better fix my camera, because you're going to miss out. You are going to miss out on what I have to show. And this is a bigger book. So let's bring this right up there. But I loved this here. I'm sure if Jane saw it, she'd know exactly what to do with it. Or Liz over at Buttons for Brains, she would know what to do. This is my dilemma. I'm just learning what to do with images like this. It's a little beyond my realm. I'm very intimidated. But I just thought this would be a very cool book to fussy cut. Look at this lamppost. These two caught my eye as well. Here's your cab, which in England, and anyone that's across the pond, correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand that they have to buy their cabs in England. I don't think in New York you buy your taxi, but in England you actually buy your cab. There's the Tower of London. Been there, done that. Very, very, very interesting. And this is called Trader's Gate. And you can see, I believe you can see this when you're walking around. And this is how they brought the prisoners in and out. They brought them in by water, I believe, through the Thames. And this is how they came into the tower. And there's the ravens that preside over. They say when the last raven dies, that's when England falls. I could be wrong, but it just seems like that's the saying. Yeah, right here. It says, there have always been ravens to watch what happened on the green. They could call the interior the green. They're ugly and raucous and are usually considered birds of ill omen, but not in the tower. A legend says that if there were no ravens, the White Tower and the British Empire would collapse. I thought it was something like that, yeah. I should take some of these images, and I haven't done a scrapbook yet of when I went to England twice, once with my brother and then once with my husband. I should use some of these as a backdrop for my photos. Maybe these larger images, I can do that in my scrapbook because it would be really cool. I just love the black and white. But this is, so don't overlook, you know, when you're at a library book sale, don't overlook a book such as this as well, because there's a lot that you can do with these images. And with me, it's going to be a challenge, because I've never, now if Jane Chip had this, I can imagine, you know, she would probably, and I can't say because her brain works so much smarter than mine, but I'm sure she would, you know, do something with these children and then probably stitch or embroider or do something funky with Big Ben. And this would make a great backdrop on a postcard. Even this with the people with the umbrella. Yeah, that's Piccadilly. That's Piccadilly Circus. Piccadilly Circus in England is like our Times Square in New York City. Yeah, this is great because these are all places that I did see the changing of the guards, which is a phenomenal event. That was really cool. The Peter Pan statue. So there are, yeah, this would be fun to work with these kids with their teacup. They're having, was it 2 o'clock they have tea? 2 p.m. I think. Tea and cakes are set out. This is Covent Garden. There's the, oh, this is all about the Port of London. That's Tower Bridge. There's Cutty Sark. I love England. It just has so much history. Look at this. Windsor Castle. I was able to go to Windsor Castle, which is phenomenal. And that's the entrance. I have a picture of me standing right about here that my brother took. And I believe the Queen just announced, I think my husband told me she just announced that she's leaving and going to Windsor. She is going to be residing at Windsor Castle from now on. There's the stables. Yeah, just amazing. I love England. I love the history. I love reading about anything, watching it on TV. I'm just fascinated by the history and everything they have to offer. And my husband just got done reading Mary Churchill, and he read the large book on Winston Churchill, and Mary Churchill's, I think it's Mary Churchill's diary. I think it's Mary, his daughter. And it was her diary. It was what she did every day. And fascinating book. He's read different excerpts of it to me, and I want to read it when he's almost done. So that is my score today at my local library. So I think for $5, I did really well. I'm anxious to craft with these 3 books here, and you'll be seeing me. We'll do some of that together, and that's it. So today's a perfect day. It's a rainy day here. Make yourself a cup of tea, cup of coffee, grab a book. If you're not a reader, grab a book to fussy cut, curl up in a corner, grab your blankie, and just have an awesome day, everybody. And if it's sunny where you're at, get outside, take a hike, go for a run, go on your bike, go play with your dog, go rake your lawn, do something. Get out and fill your lungs with fresh air. So I will see you down the road in my next video. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.